What's up guys, Chasing Lamely here and welcome back to episode number 2, the long awaited episode number 2 of the F1 2020 My Team Career Mode. In today's episode we're going to be taking on the Bahraini Grand Prix. As you can see on the screen, my terrible editing, we're just sticking some things in the 2 days we were on the activity timeline. Had a little bit of a play, tried to figure out what to do. We're going to put the simulator training on, give Tatiana some more experience. We also picked up a new sponsor, Gedankenübertragung, which, you know, I'm reliably told means telepathic or telepathy in German. I just thought it looked cool. Also, they've got a bonus that I felt was achievable whilst I'm trying to figure out the levels we're at. So I did some playing with the colours, made it all nice and yellow. We're going to do some flicking about. I should get back to the editing.
Buy perks to become a better driver, both on and off the track. Your second driver will buy theirs with the fee they negotiate over their base salary, but you can buy your own with the team's cash. One of the benefits of being the boss.
There we go. So we're going to buy some perks. We're going to buy all of the level 1 perks actually. We're going to buy development feedback, the media coaching, the power mapping, and the social media team, so we can get ourselves up and up and up in our driver acclaim. Right. Skipping through the days, getting ourselves into the Grand Prix.
As we continue to increase our acclaim, more potential partners become willing to work with us.
Yes, Jeff, we, or Carl, or whoever you are, we did that. We already did that, buddy. Already did the sponsors. Right, weekend preview. It's going to be dark. It's going to be dark and dry because it's Bahrain. These are the resource points we got out of the practice sessions. Tatiana needs to up her game because she is not bringing in the resource points. But, you know, we're sticking with it. We're going to try and make her a world champion, but she's not going to become a world champion if she's not going to put in the hard hours. That's just not going to work for me, for her, for any of us. So, into qualifying, just so you can see, I had thought the practice session was a bit easy. So I decided to up the difficulty. This is the first of 2 times we'll up the difficulty in this episode. So we've got up to 80 on the difficulty. I've said from the start I'm not the best player. I still play with the track guide on so I can see where I'm going. But, you know, we'll make it work. We'll make it work as best we can. So, this is the lovely view of the Bahrain Grand Prix, the track for Q1. I missed the intro video having commentary. It's sad. It's sad they got rid of it. There we are, looking all sharp in our race suit, ready to go. So, going straight out with a nice, easy early lap, and that was very loud in my ears. But yeah, so we're going out for the first lap here in qualifying, and just to get a feel for the track. It's not the smoothest run, not the best run in the world. You're going to see as we come around the timing line here. I didn't want to show you the whole lap this time because, you know, time on the episode. We're crossing the line. We've got a little bit of a toe maybe. We're at a 1:36, so that puts us top of the timesheets in Q1, which I thought was a sign we probably needed to up the difficulty, or we just got a very lucky early run. You can see as we come around for our second lap, we've dropped to P5. We're going to take about half a second off our time, which at the end of the session puts us up into P2 provisionally, which for a car that is at best the 6th worst on the grid, we shouldn't be in P2. That was kind of my sign that we needed to up the difficulty, make things a little bit harder. So I've gone up to 90. I've gone to Master AI level just to see if that levels things out a bit. And you're going to see we're going to come around here for our first lap in Q2. It's going to be a pretty good lap. It's not going to be our slowest lap of the weekend by any stretch. 29.3, which is 0.2 faster than we did in Q2. So that's put us in 15th as we come across for our second and final flying lap in Q2. See where this gets us. We're not going to take any time off. I should have aborted the lap, really saved some tyres, but still nearly 0.3 down, puts us 15th for the race, which is not the worst place for us to be starting, not the best place for us to be starting, but we'll make it work. You can see Lewis Hamilton comes through top of Q2, confirmation there. We've finished 15th, just ahead of Romain Grosjean, and we're going to go straight into the race.
The stage is set for another enthralling race here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. A Ferrari stronghold in years gone by, but will they be able to add to their record today? Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson is with me once again to take you through today's action, and we have plenty of twists and turns to come over the next hour or so, I'm sure.
What a great race we have in store for us today. Valtteri looks supremely confident this weekend, and that's why he's starting from pole. Can anyone get close to him today, I wonder? Besides that, of course, any kind of Turn 1 incident could completely turn the race on its head. Let's keep our fingers crossed everyone can get through in one piece.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Albon, Sainz, Norris, Ocon and Lance Stroll, Gasly, Ricciardo, Kimi Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, the rookie, Grosjean, Sergio Perez and Daniel Kvyat, Magnussen, Russell, Calderon and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So there you go, we're starting.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Interrupt, Jeff. We're starting in 15th. Tatiana starts 21st. We've got a racing point behind us, which is always a little bit of a worry. Had a little bit of a play with the strategy, seeing if I could find a way to make the projected time faster. I looked at maybe switching to the medium to soft. It wasn't massively slower, but there was no way of giving a sort of a guaranteed definite advantage, so we just stuck with the default. I don't think we're at a stage where we can start playing with our tyres. We will drop some fuel though. Once we got the tyre management better, once the tyre life is lasting a bit longer with the upgrades, we'll start looking at that, maybe making that a thing. But let's get into the race. 5 red lights and see where we go. We are away in Bahrain, and decent start, not the worst start in the world. We're going down the outside because I'm very aware everyone sort of tries to go to the inside line. A little bit early on the brakes, a little bit cautious because I didn't want to pile straight into the back of Gasly. Go around the outside, take it a little bit easy into the first corner. We're going to try and stick with most of the first lap as best we can here. So try and sort of get as much toe down the back or the first sort of real straight as we can. Get a little dive down the inside. Made it work just about. Gasly's on the outside, but that gives a little bit of a tap on the tyres, but we've made it through. We've not lost the front wing, we've not lost anything, we've done okay. We're playing with simulated damage, by the way, because even though some people think they're the only ones that play with it, there are others that still use the sim damage. But Gasly, as you can see, is pulling away from us already on this first lap as we go into that tight hairpin down into the main back straight, the big DRS zone, which of course we don't have DRS until the start of lap 3. But yeah, we're doing okay. We've got Perez behind us, which is going to be a big worry for most of this first stint. Trying to keep just a little bit in touch with Gasly, trying to lose him too much. We get on the curb, that's going to hurt us a little bit. We're lucky not to lose the back end, if I'm honest, and we come across a little bit wide on the exit there as we keep going. So you can see Perez is creeping up behind us, and we're getting ourselves into a little bit of a battle here with Sergio Perez. He was the racing point that I pointed out earlier that was behind us at the start of the grid. We've got to try and keep him behind us, but you know, Sergio Perez is no slouch. Him qualifying so low down the order was a fluke more than anything. As we get a little bit of a rough turn in, for some reason it just didn't turn in for me. Wouldn't turn in for me when I tried to make it do it, and yeah, we're losing Gasly slowly, and we're gonna take an edit in a second, I'm sure, because we need to get ourselves, you know, into more action. And Gasly is slowly, well, I say slowly, he's very quickly pulling away. We're really struggling to keep pace. We're hitting a lot of curbs, taking way too much curb, way too wide a line through that corner, and not really getting the braking zone right there. It's all going a bit wrong on lap 2. You can see Perez is all over our gearbox. We are going to be in severe trouble. We've made the hairpin a little bit wide, a little bit late in the turn in, and that's going to give Perez an opportunity to come down this back straight, because he will have the slipstream. And as we come through towards the end of that, you can see Perez right behind us. Right behind us. He's going to try and take us as DRS gets enabled. He doesn't need it. He's gone down the inside. I probably could have defended that better in hindsight. We try and keep it round the outside. We've just held on as we go into the second DRS zone of the lap, or I guess the first DRS zone of the race. And you see Perez going to get on the inside of us again. Try and leave some space. He's given us a little bit of a tap and we've lost the back end. He didn't have the corner. He wasn't alongside us. I think I've done that perfectly fairly. I don't feel like I've cost him anything, or that I've deliberately impeded him there. Come back through the hairpin again. And again, we're skipping through the lap. We're not sticking straight with it. So if things look like they're missing, it's because I edited them out. You see Perez still catching us down that threat DRS zone. 4 tenths down now, trying to make up some time. We pull away in the corners. We've definitely got a slightly better aero package than the Racing Point, but we just cannot match them on straight line speed. You see coming down this straight here, Perez will start to catch up with us at a rate of knots. He's just got the straight line speed that we can only dream of here as we come through this final corner. Head a little bit, take it a little bit shallow, but that's deliberate to try and save some time. But Perez was right up on us there, right up on us. We're going to try and go around the outside here into turn 1. We've got to take a little bit too much of the grass, and yeah, there we go. He's gone. He's definitely got better through that corner. That was my mistake. Got to hold my hands up. There was nothing I could do about it, and now we've got to worry about Danny Ricciardo pulling up behind us, which is always something you don't want to see. Danny Rick, according to the timing screen, Danny Rick was both less than 1/10 behind us and alongside us at the same time, and yet nowhere near us on the track. So maybe a little bit of an issue with the timing column for Cody's. As we come through onto lap 5 now, the pit window opens, and we're going to come in at the end of this lap. But you're going to see there's a few guys already sort of starting to think about coming in as we try and keep Danny Rick behind us. Keep an eye on the gap to Sergio Perez though, 2.3 at this point, 2.4. He is building the gap away from us. We're going to try and undercut him as we come round into this middle sector here. We've still got Danny Rick behind us. He's going to be a threat all the way down this back straight, as you would expect Danny Rick to be. We've made the hairpin this time. Not the worst line, not the best line you can take through there for sure, but not the worst line you can take through there. As we pull down the back straight, we're trying to keep him behind us, keep constantly checking just to make sure he's not getting close, especially because we know we can't run on the timing screen. So we take the inside curb there, again, not the best line. I was just sort of trying to keep it as straight as possible, just to try and pick as much speed through the corners as we can. As Jeff expects the grip levels to start falling, he's, if I'd thought about this more clearly rather than sticking straight to strategy, I would have gone another lap, because if there's still grip on the softs, you've probably got another lap. But I thought we'd pull in now, hit the line hard. You can see Danny Rick is right behind us. But we're going to get the undercut on a lot of people. You can see, I think that is... I wanted to say that was Giovinazzi ahead of us, but that would make no sense at all. But there we go. We're coming out. It looks like we're going to come out in 18th with Raikkonen behind us, Grosjean as well behind us. But Danny Rick has had a bit of a time in the pit phase, as far as I can tell, because I didn't see him pass us. So he must be running 21st, 22nd. He has lost a lot of times when we see him coming out the pits. I think he had a front wing change. I think he may have touched us coming through the first few corners and lost his front wing end plate as Tatiana comes in for a stop. And now you're going to see the second wave of pit stops in this one-stop race. We're a little bit down on fuel. I was sort of trying to run as lean as possible through the early and middle stage of the race. A 9.3 gap, but you're going to see we're going to come here, and here is Sergio Perez right ahead of us. We're going to take him as he exits the pits on cold tyres into T1 and try and pull away from him. but Sergio Perez just immediately comes back at us. We got the DRS off of him, which was, you know, definitely beneficial. But then up the inside, there's a turn 4, turn 5. I always forget which numbers they are. But you see, wheel to wheel with Sergio Perez, just keeping him behind us. This is sort of the best battle we had of the race. Really, is you know, Sergio. We've undercut him. We've done well to undercut him, but he is in a faster car. He's definitely a better driver than I am. You can see he tries to take us up the inside of the hairpin, and he's made a little bit of contact there, and actually that damaged his front wing. He wasn't alongside me as I turned in. Again, I haven't like deliberately cut him off there. He wasn't there. I didn't need to give him the room. He's tried to get up the inside of me, and it's cost him. So we're going to come back. We're going to sort of slowly pull away because he's obviously got that damage. We're going through a tight S's section, and that's kind of Sergio's race over. Unfortunately, it was a really good little battle. But you're going to see as we come around to the end of this lap here, have a little watch of the mini map just in the bottom left of your screen, and you will see that there's a yellow flag there. Sergio Perez is pulling off into the pits. There's a yellow flag up ahead, which we're going to see if you look on the right hand side of your screen as we come through the first corner. Pierre Gasly is parked up on the grass with some kind of mechanical failure, so that is a free position, puts us up into P11, and you know, we'll make the best of it. You know, we're coming into lap 9 now. Lap 9 into the back section, the start finish straight, and Gia Venazzi has pulled up behind us. Gia Venazzi is lightning quick in this career mode, as other YouTubers and I'm sure other players have noticed. Gia Venazzi is very, very quick in that alpha. He's made up a good 3-4 tenths just down that back straight with DRS, and now we're going to kind of try and hold him off coming through this section. But you know, he's going to get DRS again. He's right up behind us. He's within 2 tenths. He's going to try around the outside because I've covered off the inside line. Maybe taken too much curb, but it's probably going to help us with 4 laps of fuel remaining and 4 laps left on the clock. We're doing just about okay in terms of target. But yeah, 2 tenths behind us. And yeah, so this is kind of a tough challenge. And a track with Bahrain, which, you know, it does have some good technical sections, but there's big power circuits, a lot of straights, and 3 straights with DRS as well. But a straight like this, a girl like Gia Venazzi is just going to really, really come back at us now, and that's what you're seeing on your screen right now. He's sort of within it, or just about outside a tenth. But we'll pull away. We always seem to pull away from the cars with the good power units as we come through the S's section here. Then we get onto the sort of final straight before the start finish straight, and again he's going to start pulling up on us because he just has that straight line power, and Raikkonen behind him as well. The world champion behind us is nothing to be sniffed at. We come through to the back end of lap number 10 onto lap 11. We get into the DRS zone. I sort of think about covering off the inside line. I have to let him go because I couldn't have got across, but we find out as he passes us that Gio has some kind of issue. I go really wide into T1 because I was trying to avoid running into the back of him, and he's pulling away from us as things are, so I'm not sure what the issue is, but maybe it's an issue that's going to develop over time rather than an immediate one, as we've got more issues as we try and find ourselves, well, we find ourselves the meat in the Alfa Romeo sandwich, but we need to try as hard as we can to keep Raikkonen behind us. But he's found a way around the outside. He's found his way around the outside. We're going to try and take that position back round this corner, but we've gone way too wide. Just let him go. We've just let him go there, and it was. The trouble is, you're fighting. Like I said, I may have made a mistake there. I probably should have raced more fairly, but you know, I didn't get the position, so no harm, no foul. I didn't damage the car either, so we're still fairly fighting with Raikkonen. I got that corner all wrong. That's all on me. I've got to hold my hands up there. But we're going to try and keep on the back of Raikkonen. So we know if Gia Venazzi has got an issue, then he is going to start slowing down, which is going to slow Raikkonen down unless he just goes straight past him. We've got Grosjean coming up behind us as well. Grosjean is going to be a bit of a threat. We're still doing okay. I mean, I know there's a lot of YouTubers who will go to 110 difficulty and they get a car of this standard up into points I've said before, I'm not there. I'm not at that quality of driver. I fully admit it. But being in P13 at any stage in the race with a car that is realistically the 17th best in the field, it's not too shabby. We're doing okay. Yes, we are going backwards a little bit since the start because we started very, very well. So we take way too much curb there, but we've done okay. You know, we're not embarrassing ourselves. We're not being necessarily unrealistically quick like we were in Australia. So I think we've found our level more or less. I may put it up as I get more comfortable with the game in future episodes, but for now we're just following Giovinazzi and Raikkonen, watching them battle out as Grosjean has a little look at the inside. Luckily we left him space, so I didn't see him coming. I don't think he would have been coming had we not left him space, but we just about managed to get through. We don't manage to close the door, we haven't touched him, and now we've just got to try and chase down Raikkonen and Giovinazzi as we've put Grosjean a whole second behind us by forcing him to brake going through that corner. And we're 2 and a bit laps to go now. So right in the back end stage of this Grand Prix, we're wondering when that issue with Giovinazzi is finally going to kick in, maybe work to our favour. As you see, Kimi Raikkonen is just about to make his move on Giovinazzi. There we go, up ahead. I should have paid attention to my editing, but you can see here Raikkonen has got ahead of Giovinazzi. He's pulled away, lap 13 into the hairpin here. Giovinazzi is falling back towards us, and Grosjean behind us is, he's still keeping us honest. He's still on our gearbox. We can't sort of just focus on the battle ahead. We've got to focus on keeping position. Daniel Ricciardo's done well to recover, having made that wing change as well in 15th. Tatiana at this stage in the race, I think, is running in P18. So she has found a couple of positions. She's not done the worst performance of her lifetime. We're trying to cover off here with Grosjean, but I sort of let him go a little bit because I know I can outbrake him. So we're going to outbrake him around the corner. If you look on your mini-map at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that that Grosjean has some kind of breakdown going through the corner. Something went wrong. I don't know what. I didn't catch it on the replay either, unfortunately. But Grosjean sort of tried to go up the inside of us. I took him on the outside under braking, and then he's just kind of pulled up and I think retired from the Grand Prix, unless he went straight into the pits. Something went awfully wrong from going around that corner. I'm not sure entirely what it was, but now we've got that we're chasing Giovinazzi down. We're trying to keep Danny Rick behind us. It is the last lap of the Grand Prix, so all to kind of fight for, trying to reel in Giovinazzi, see if we can find a time to make a pass on him. But it's going to be really close. Now in this issue, it's slowing him down, but it's not slowing him down necessarily to our pace. We're 0.8 behind now. Should get it down, just coming through the hairpin now. Maybe brake a little bit early, take a little bit too much of the curb. We got to 0.5, back to 0.8. It's very, very close. It's a very close race. The car was feeling really good as well. Definitely better than it did in Australia. I can say that for absolute certain, because it felt awful in Australia. We've not really done many upgrades. Upgrades are coming in for the next race, but it's maybe it's just more suited at this stage of our career to this track. We get within 0.3 and we're closing. We're in the slipstream with Giovinazzi coming into the last lap. This is the last corner of the race and we're having a little look on the outside. Gio's giving us the room. We've outbraked him. He tried to cut us off late. We're already going round him, and he's taken himself out the running here. We're going across the line into P12 for a finish, and you didn't see it, but just behind us as well, Danny Rick took 13th at the line. You will see it. I've put some race highlights at the end of the video, so stay tuned, and you will see that pass crossing the line, as well as the incidents we had with Ricciardo and with Sergio, because I haven't figured out how to edit them in to the running footage yet. But let's enjoy the podium celebration that we're not involved in with Valtteri Bottas running away with the race, because that seems what Valtteri Bottas is doing right now, just running away with things. Alex Albon with 8th, definitely a decent performance for him at this stage as well. But you see on the podium, here we have our guys. Bottas finishes in first place, Lewis in third, with Seb splitting the two Mercs. A really good drive. Is that Lewis? No, it's Charles Leclerc. I can't recognise drivers or say names in the right order. That's why you don't record late at night, ladies and gents. But yeah, not too bad as things go, finishing in 12th. It was certainly a better result than we deserved. You can see their confirmation. Kimi finished just ahead of us. No big surprises there. Kind of Merc, Ferrari, Red Bull, couple of McLarens, then Albons. Kind of how you expect that to finish. But drive for the day for Valtteri Bottas for going from lights to flag, really. We've done well finishing in 12th. See, Tatiana finished the race 17th, which is, you know, pretty good. It's pretty much where the car is, especially when you consider Gasly having his DNF, so, you know, we'll call it would have been 18th. Kvyat, I think, must have had an incident in there. Sergio had a problem or made contact with us twice. Yeah, we've done okay. We're still on 4 points. Valtteri Bottas with 51 leads the championship, and now we've got
amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
Let's see how this goes. Are we pretty happy?
You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
I mean, I wasn't, Claire. I was going backwards. I pretty much went backwards. I mean, okay, we finished ahead of where we started, but you know, we made all those positions off the line and just fought for dear life. We're going to give the chassis department some love.
You're breaking all expectations.
Well, it's about having a great team and car, I guess. I don't know what the expectations were, but thanks for the interview, Claire. That was nice. We've gained some good acclaim, so that's always beneficial. Not made our way into acclaim level 3, but only just underneath it. Acclaim level 3 for the team, though. We've only made 96,000 because I chose one of the lower sponsor goals, the more achievable one, which is just don't DNF. So 90,000 goes into the bank there. Not the biggest income that we could have made. It's 180,000 or something coming in for the race, but it's all gone pretty well, and you can see that our next episode is going to be the Vietnam Grand Prix. But yeah, that's pretty much us for this episode. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. We're going to have some highlights, as I said, from the Grand Prix. Thanks for watching, guys. I've been Chasing Lamely as always. You can catch me on all the socials at Chasing Lamely. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, because that means more content will go out. But until next time, thanks for watching.